All right, so in today's episode of what should I do with all the wood in my wood yard and where should I put it? What are we gonna do? That's right, we're gonna go get some more wood and bring it back to the wood yard. So in the last video, I talked about how I was gonna fill up that ditch over there with just loose split wood and kind of make a big pile. And I asked the question to you guys and gals, what I should do. And the response was kind of mixed. So I appreciate all the feedback. I still haven't fully decided because there was some good points on why not to do it and some points on why to do it. So I'm still figuring it out. But in the meantime, like I mentioned, this morning now, I'm gonna actually be going to get more wood and bring it back here to the wood yard. So if you look around on social media and online, you'll find a lot of postings for free firewood. And a lot of people out there will always, and I myself, sometimes look at these ads, these posts, and I'll be like, yeah, that's really not free. And a lot of people will always argue like, you should never go and do something for free because your time isn't, it's gonna cost you something. Well, the other day we had a big storm come through, and I'm part of like our neighborhood. We have kind of like a group messaging that we all kind of are on, and a elderly lady up the road had a tree. She put out a message and said, had a tree blow down in my yard. Anybody want some wood? So, you can look at that. Some people will look at that and say, oh, here's somebody who wants someone else to come and do some free work. They want somebody to come and do something for nothing. But in a way, I also look at it as sometimes when people put out a message like that, it's kind of like their way of saying, I need help. Like, can anyone help me? Because sometimes one of the hardest things to say is, I need help, along with Worcestershire sauce. So do I need more wood? Probably not, but am I gonna answer the call from a nearby neighbor for a little assistance? Yes, I'm going to. So this morning we are gonna head up there, check it out, see what the tree is that came down. I'm guessing it's a standing dead oak because there's a lot of them in the area up there and right along the property line. Because this, ironically, this is not the first time that I've helped this person, and I'll tell you that story later on. But yeah, so we're gonna go check it out and probably come home with a load of wood, and then we will get back to trying to figure out where to put it all here in the wood yard. So one of the cool things about this little neighborhood messaging group that we have is something just like this. You can put out, a request for assistance. You can ask questions, kind of like the way I rely on you guys in this community to give me feedback and to help me out with things like the ditch over there. Almost forgot you guys over here. All right, so woodhounds, it's a 2-for-1 kind of day. It's 2 trees down, and right here is where it starts in her lawn. So all of this is out in the yard. So I think what I'll do is I'll just buzz these limbs off, throw them in the trailer, get a couple bigger chunks here, put them in the trailer, and then I may have to use the log tongs. Try the log tongs again and pull these out of there. All right, so I did forget my rake, but I just kicked everything together with my foot, cleaned up all the little branches that I could, and I think that's pretty good. Under 10 minutes to get that all done. So not too much time out of my day. Now, the only thing with these logs over here is there is this, I don't even know what kind of cable it is. Power or internet, something. And she did say that they are coming to bury this and that I should be careful not to disrupt it. So I don't think I'm going to be dragging these logs out over top of this. But what I am going to do is I think I will come in with the forks, and I'll get my forks underneath there and then cut them off and just lift them up and take those out. All right, so I dropped those two bigger logs off over by the yappa, and then I pulled out the other stuff that was kind of a little bit bigger in diameter and took that over to the yappa. I might take this one as well, but what I'm gonna do with this now is, I know it looks like a big mess, but we're actually having a little fire this afternoon in the fire pit out at the tiki bar. So I'm gonna just pull this trailer over there and then take the little saw and just cut up pieces and put it right into the pit and burn it tonight. All right, so cut, edit, edit, edit. So as I was doing the closing to this video, and I mentioned that I was maybe gonna go back once they buried that telecommunications cable or fiber optic cable, whatever it was, because I didn't wanna drag the logs across it. It struck me, and in my mind, I thought about it with the log tongs. The rule is you gotta get it up before you can go with it. So I would be lifting the logs up and then pulling them out. I wouldn't be pulling them over the top of that cable. So I went back up there, I pulled the two logs out, cut them down in the length, hauled them home. Here they are, they're in the yard. So now I will take you to the closing where I mentioned that I wasn't going to go get the logs, even though I did go get the logs. So the backstory with this neighbor I was just at cleaning up this tree, the two trees, she was originally the neighbor who reached out 2 years ago and had a tree come down. I went up, helped her clean it up, and then she referred me to my other neighbor who I've been bringing home all of his standing dead oak trees for the last 2 years. So she was the person who put me in contact and recommended me to my other neighbor, who now I've gotten, I don't even know how much wood out of. And there's how much more wood up there to get in the coming years. So that's kind of how, you know, I don't mind helping people like that out. When I've helped them out, they've helped me out, and now in a sense I can return the favor again. I just think, like I said, I just think it's being a good neighbor. So yeah, so there it is. And like I said, I mean, the amount of time it actually took me will probably be pretty close to the amount of time spent watching this video. It was just a short drive up there, 10 minutes, bucking and picking up the branches, putting them in the trailer, and then maybe another 5-10 minutes getting those other bigger logs out of there. And like I said, I just didn't want to risk trying to drag those logs out over top of that fiber optic communications cable, whatever it was, laying there. I just didn't want to mess with that. I told her, you know, once that gets buried, maybe I'll come back up and get those logs. But for now, it was a nice little score this morning, a nice little way to start the day. And yeah, I do have an alternative, something I'm thinking about instead of running all that wood into the ditch. I did a poll last night on the live stream, and it was pretty close. It was like 65% yes to go ahead and run the wood into a big pile over there. And so, again, I appreciate all the feedback. It's kind of got me thinking some more now. I don't know, it's just, there's a lot that I'm always thinking about. And in the past, I have, as you probably have seen in many of my videos from the last 2 years, I've done things where I'll do something and then all of a sudden, a few months later, I realize I probably shouldn't have done that. And I've done that many times with now putting wood in a certain spot, and then it's there for a year, maybe 2 years, some of this oak. So I'm still working that out. I'll let you guys know, but I do appreciate all the feedback. And yeah, that was my idea. That was the direction I'm going. And thanks to you, maybe now I've seen a different path forward. So thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you get the chance, go out there, help your neighbor, and do some good. Stay safe, have fun, be cool.
I've been a real bad boy on the town all night. Starting to